Kevin Killips. I'm a proud graduate of Rosary College, class of 1979, and I have the honor of serving as chairman of Dominican's Board of Trustees. Thanks for that, Donna. I am also a co-chair of our Powerful Promises campaign, along with Mary Callow of the Rosary College class of 67, and Rick King, who also is an MBA in 1983. It is my privilege to welcome you all here tonight. Tonight we are gathered for a momentous occasion in Dominican's history, the public launch of the Powerful Promise campaign. I have just come from a meeting of the board, well, an hour ago, and I want to share the following. Wait for it. At today's meeting, the Board of Trustees officially approved the launch of the public phase and our campaign goal. I am proud to announce that during the quiet phase of the campaign, we have raised more than $40 million in support. Reaching this threshold gives us confidence to announce the Powerful Promise campaign goal of $65 million. I'm also happy to share, very importantly, that all of our trustees are committed to this campaign, both philanthropically and through active leadership roles. Our board is actively engaged in this university at all times, including past chairs, past board members, and we have a number of board members that after they rotate, come back on. So this board is very committed to this place, as I am, and as everybody in this room is. So thanks again for that. Tonight we acknowledge the contribution of each of you have made to the university in this celebratory moment. When I was a student here, late in the 70s, I never imagined how Dominican would grow. I think my parents never imagined I would actually graduate, but that's another story. So the changes are the number of students studying and the faculty teaching them. The expansion of our campus, the state-of-the-art facilities like we're in now at Parmer Hall, and Dominican's reputation continues to grow, both regionally and nationally. This is an important place where important things happen and important kids become well-founded adults. So this is a fabulous place. To put our accomplishments in context, this is the third campaign of Donna's tenure. Some of you will recall with Heart and Mind campaign, which raised $32 million between 96 and 2001. Doesn't seem that impressive now. That's a challenge to Donna. That was followed some years later by the Amazing Possibilities, which raised $54 million and included this building, which has been a cornerstone of Dominican moving into the future. So that's fabulous. Both of these initiatives were tremendously successful, helping to enhance Dominican's reputation and its overall standing. But I have to give Donna credit. She does not rest on her laurels, we hope. She is fully committed to making Dominican as strong as it can be, and she has instilled that sense of urgency within the board. Together, I am confident we will succeed. And so we are here today, the public launch of our third campaign, Powerful Promises. I want to invite our champion to share with you the priorities of the campaign and some of our successes to date. Ladies and gentlemen, President Donna Carroll.
Thank you, Kevin, and good evening, everyone. We gather to celebrate the powerful promise of a Dominican education and to commit publicly to a campaign that deepens the university's capacity to advance that promise for our students, for our academic community, among our alums, and in the external marketplace. We also gather with gratitude to thank each of you, our partners and our investors, for the generosity that makes this moment possible. You are the confidence behind the promise, and for that, I am deeply, deeply grateful. A successful campaign is about more than dollars. as we all know. It is about a story, context, outcomes, aspirations, leading to philanthropy. This building, as Kevin mentioned, the John C. and Carolyn J. Palmer Hall, is a stunning example of a successful campaign initiative, anchored by our Dominican legacy of excellence in science education, providing today's students with state-of-the-art laboratories for study and research, and setting the stage for tomorrow's growth in the health sciences. What a powerful story. It is no wonder that so many generous benefactors, like the Bora Family Foundation, are now choosing to invest in the sciences at Dominican. All donors together have committed over $6 million to the campaign so far. When the promise of a Dominican education was threatened, as it was this year with the budget situation in the state of Illinois, alumni responded immediately and generously with scholarship support. 2 anonymously funded $1 million challenge grants further focused alumni giving. And as a consequence, 50 new endowed scholarships already have been established as part of the Powerful Promise campaign, because alums like Eileen Wellenberg, featured in our campaign brochure, understand the changing context of education today and seek to ensure that a Dominican degree remains affordable to deserving students. They also want students, no matter financial constraints, to take full advantage of their college experience, which is why the estate of Joan Kane, class of '51, is supporting the Excel Fund to subsidize international study, internships, student research stipends, and other experiential learning opportunities. John and Jean Rowe are also endowment donors, but their focus is on outcomes. They recently established a distinguished service professorship in the Brennan School of Business to help elevate the quality and reputation of the school. But deep down, their gift is about creating opportunities for students. It is an affirmation of Dominicans' uncompromising commitment to and enormous success with educating first generation to college students. And like Doris Christopher and the Follett Foundation, who also funded faculty appointments at Dominican, the Rows know that high student outcomes are tied to high faculty quality and engagement. That's the powerful promise of a Dominican education. Of course, if you were to ask our students, and the students in the room tonight, about how they define the Dominican promise, I suspect that each of them would answer that question somewhat differently. Because at any given moment, a Dominican education at its best is exactly what each student needs it to be. Intellectually challenging, nurturing, introspective, relevant, faith-filled, open-minded, surprising. Our aspiration and the aspiration of the Powerful Promise campaign is to create opportunities that enrich and transform students' hearts and minds, so that they not only lead productive lives, but they also participate in the creation of a more just and humane world. That is why Diane Costanzo and Mary Camparda funded the construction of a university labyrinth to give students the space to contemplate the meaning of a good life. Once upon a time, founding father Samuel Mazzucchelli instructed the Dominican sisters to make college as much like home as possible. If there is one story, one context, one outcome, one aspiration that distinguishes the Powerful Promise campaign, it is this vigorous commitment to family. And that commitment is exemplified by the vision and the design of a new $16 million student commons. The Commons is at once a contemporary expression of Dominican values: study, prayer, service. It is also the answer to an urgent need for more gathering space. And it is the promise of a rich and well-integrated campus life for students. When Dominican trustee Mary Jo Schuler and her husband Stephen made their leadership gift to the Student Commons, they were investing in this distinctively Dominican vision and promise of community. So tonight, you are all part of the Dominican campaign vision, and your gifts promise a challenging and supportive community for future generations of students. So I stand here and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your continuing generosity. So now, let me introduce a very generous friend of Dominican University, Brennan alumnus, former chairman of the board, campaign co-chair, and scholarship donor, Rick King. Rick.
Thank you, Donna. It's a great honor to be here on this really momentous occasion for the university. I have a special appreciation for the Powerful Promise campaign, and I want to share that with you. Now, you all know Donna's penchant for special moments. The way she weaves together unusual and historical milestones that intersect to create a poignant revelation. I wouldn't dare compete with her. But please consider, it's been 33 years since I received my MBA at Dominican. This is the third campaign in which I participated, and with Cheryl and I provided 3 gifts, 1 in each campaign, our best gifts among the many fine institutions we've supported. We've exceeded our campaign goals in the first campaign, as Kevin mentioned. We exceeded them in the first and second campaign. And I have every confidence that as one of the 3 co-chairs, that we'll do the same in campaign number 3. How's that, Donna? Many of you know my career has been in the executive search industry, seeking nonprofit CEOs for nonprofit institutions, foundations, and national charities across the country. Among the so-called headhunters, we prefer to refer to ourselves as heart hunters. We seek leaders with a lot of heart. We seek leaders who can inspire others, who bring new vision, who demonstrate boundless energy and unending passion for the institution. Because these are the core ingredients that make a good organization great. As I think about the hundreds of CEOs that I've recruited over the past 3 decades, there is no question in my mind that a great institution succeeds because it has a great leader. Dominican has Donna Carroll. Leaders also have something else that make them successful. They have followers. When I think of the way Donna has transformed Dominican over the 23 years that she served as president so far, I think of all the great followers that she's had in creating this success story here. Hundreds of trustees, actually, thousands of alumni and alumni, and longtime friends. I think of the culture of caring that she imbued around the so-called old school paradigm, which ironically never gets old. That is, hiring faculty and deans who really love teaching, who instill confidence and self-esteem in our students, who encourage them to reach beyond themselves and to do well and also do good. And at the foundation of it all, they embody caritas and veritas in everything they do. And by the way, caritas and veritas, that's not a slogan. It's alive here. You can see it in the students, you can hear it in the classrooms, and you can feel it every time you step on this campus. That takes leadership, and that is leadership I can follow. That's why Cheryl and I have devoted our time, our talents, our treasure, as many of you have in this room, to see all of this happen. So here's the question going forward. Will you follow the leader again? Will you follow Donna? With the help of many of you so far, as Kevin said, we've reached the $40 million mark. To those of you that have helped us reach this mark, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. For those of you who have not yet participated, it's time to stand up. We all stood up in the first campaign. We all stood up in the second campaign. And we need to stand up for the powerful promise. So let's stand up. Everybody here, stand up. Stand up where you are. Stand up. Let me applaud you for all you've done in Dominican. And thank you for your support and make this a successful campaign. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick, not only for your remarks, but for your generosity and for your steadfast leadership. Let me take a moment now to highlight one particular campaign priority in order to better focus our celebration. There's a reason that the public phase of the Powerful Promise campaign is being launched in this building at this time with the sculpture of Father Samuel Mazzucchelli as witness to our efforts. It was founding Father Samuel who in the mid-1800s insisted that the young women of St. Clara Academy study science. Not surprisingly then, one of the first buildings built on the Rosary College campus was a science building, where in 1939, a young Ida Brechtel discovered her love of the health sciences and went on to become the first woman gynecologist in Rockford, Illinois. 50 years later, it was Dr. Brechtel's estate that funded a substantial scholarship endowment to recruit talented science students to Dominican University. Talented students attracted talented faculty. So by the time the university built Palmer Hall in 2007, 1/3 of the freshman class indicated an interest in studying the sciences. Tonight, Dominican University celebrates the launch of a new chapter in our science saga. Building upon the successful programs in nutrition, medical science, nursing, and soon physician's assistant studies, and with the approval of the Board of Trustees, we are proud to announce the founding of a new College of Health Sciences. So, would all the members of the College of Health Sciences, the faculty, the administration, the students dressed in white, and others, would you please all stand if you're not already standing for a round of applause? Now, it might interest you to know that in less than 3 years, Dominicans' nursing enrollment has tripled, meeting an escalating need for health care in our communities. And just the day before yesterday, the university received formal notification that our Physician's Assistant Studies program received provisional accreditation with over 500 applications for 30 slots in the first class, which launches in January 2017. I know Sal's around here somewhere. He told me we have 27 students already deposited. We have 33 students on the waiting list. We are very excited about both nursing and physician's assistant studies and nutrition and dietetics and medical sciences. So please give everybody a big congratulations. My congratulations also, as well as my deep, deep gratitude, goes to our health science benefactors. The Westlake Health Foundation, the Hearst Foundation, and the Bora Family Foundation. Together, these grantors have not only funded an absolutely stunning renovation of the 4th floor of Palmer Hall, but they also continue to provide substantial student scholarship support. Please join me in recognizing and acknowledging the particular generosity of Pierre and Renee Borer, who are with us tonight. So, in closing, let me refer to the quote on the base of the sculpture of Father Samuel Mazzucchelli, OP. You can't read it from here, but if you could in the dark, it reads, "Those who instruct others into justice will shine like the stars forever." Those who instruct others unto justice will shine like the stars forever. That is the mission, that is the promise of a Dominican University education. Thank you all for being here and helping us celebrate. Now let me welcome back on stage my partner in crime, a very good friend to Dominican University and an enormous support for me, Kevin Killips.
A word of advice to everybody: never follow Donna or Rick. As I stand here tonight, I'm incredibly proud of my alma mater, but I'm not satisfied. None of us should be. There is still so much to be done. Tonight, we turn the page to finish one chapter in Dominican's history and begin another. The Powerful Promise campaign is now public, with $40 million raised towards our $65 million goal. $25 million remains for student scholarships, for faculty and programs, and for our campus facilities. We have come so far, we must do much more. The Powerful Promise campaign recognizes the promise, the potential in our students, and the commitments, the obligations, the promises of our alumni and friends to help them reach their fullest potential. As you enjoy the rest of the evening, please feel free to take a brief tour of the renovated 4th floor, take a closer look at the renderings of the student commons, and note some of the highlights we've accomplished so far. Take time to read the campaign materials that you will receive at the end of the evening, because there is really a good picture of me in there. So, just kidding. See for yourself what has been done so far and what is to be accomplished. In closing, to those of you here tonight who have already made your commitment to Powerful Promises, I thank you. For the rest of you who have not done so, I ask you to please join in. As we conclude the evening's program, I'd like to invite Sister Pat Mulcahey, Chair of the Board of Trustees Committee on Academic Affairs, to join me on the stage. Sister Pat will offer a blessing for our meal and for God's grace on the mission this campaign supports. I invite you to enjoy each other's company over supper after grace. Thank you for joining me, and please, Sister Pat.
Caritas, observed Dominican St. Catherine of Siena, makes the heart expansive and generous. We pray. Holy God, we give you thanks and praise for the generous spirit which is the heartbeat of Dominican University, for love which gives us eyes to see the great promise within each student, for the light of truth illuminating our study in science and the arts. As we break bread together, we delight in the magnanimity of this community and the fruitfulness of the earth. May the vision of Father Samuel, the enduring witness of our sisters in the Dominican community, and the commitment of our benefactors expand our hearts and propel this campaign well past its ambitious goal into a future full of promise for a new generation of Dominican University graduates, empowered by an excellent education to create a more just and humane world. All of this we ask through the power of the risen Jesus, who lives and reigns with you in the Holy Spirit, now and forever. Amen. Enjoy your dinner.